Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, my name is Laurée and I am going through all 144 Sun Moon combinations. I think it's a really important series talking about what Sun and Moon placements are like as a combination and how they interact with each other. So today we're going to be talking about Sagittarius Sun and Libra Moon. I started this season in Sagittarius season. I'm going through all of the moon placements along with Sagittarius as they unfold in real time in the transits. And so the moon entered into Libra yesterday evening. I meant to make a video yesterday evening, but it just wasn't working very well. So I'm at it today, and then I'll be back tomorrow talking about Sagittarius Sun with Scorpio Moon. So right now, any baby that is born between yesterday evening at about 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time until tomorrow evening at about 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time will have a Sagittarius Sun and a Libra Moon. I mentioned in the last video, me and my partner have a pregnant foster cat and she's about to pop any day now. I thought they might end up having a Virgo Moon, but we held off and I'm grateful for it. So not even sure if they'll have a Libra Moon at this point. She's cooking them real good. But let's get started. If you like this content, then please subscribe, hit the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I make a video. You're going to want to do that if you're interested in learning about how the transits affect you, and especially the ones coming up. We have the full solar eclipse on the 14th, as well as the great conjunction between Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius on the 21st. And those are going to be some really powerful transits, and I'll be making some videos coming up later this week about those and how those can affect certain placements. And if there's anything that you want to learn, then comment in this video and let me know, or I will leave a link in the description to my private Facebook group, and that is the best way to learn even more about astrology. I'll even take requests on what you want to learn. I'm working on this free astrology training. It's going to be really good and you'll be able to access it in the Facebook group. But let's dive into today's video. So we're talking about Sagittarius Sun with a Libra Moon, and now I'm going to be talking about what a typical Sagittarius Sun is like, and then I'm going to get and talk about the Libra Moon, and then I will be explaining about how that moon kind of may influence certain aspects of the sun sign. So if you are a Sagittarius Sun, typical Sagittarians are very fun, optimistic, idealistic. They're kind of big picture people, and they like philosophical things, right? And because they're so big picture, they tend to kind of neglect the details and maybe their day-to-day responsibilities, because they're all about finding greater meaning in things. They love adventures, and especially adventures where they feel like they can mean something meaningful from it. That's why I like philosophical discussions as well. They also love to joke around. Sagittarians are known for having a great sense of humor, and they're also very blunt, but they usually deliver it in a humorous way. I know a lot of Sagittarians. I'm a Sagittarius moon, so I've also been accused of never being able to take anything seriously. They just really, Sagittarius placements in general, just love seeing like the humor and everything. They just don't want to take everything so seriously, because they're in search of because they're so big picture, right? And they're learning about, like, they want to learn about the bigger meaning to life, and so they just can't really be bothered to sweat the small stuff or get offended about little things or just take everything so seriously. And that's why they use like humor as an outlet to kind of make things a little more lighthearted. That said, they are very passionate individuals, and they are also very impatient. They want to do what they want to do, and they don't like waiting around for it. And they also, because they're so highly individualistic, they love their freedom. They do not want to be tied down. Because of this, depending on their Venus sign, that can play a role as well. But most Sagittarians really take their sweet time in settling down. They don't want to be tied down. They want to make sure that the person that they're potentially wanting to date will keep up with them, and at least like either go on adventures with them, be able to have those deep, meaningful conversations with them, or at the very least not tie them down and infringe on their ability to do that. So now we get into the Libra Moon. So if you have a Libra Moon, then that means you have like a taste for the finer things in life. You know, you like beauty, sophistication, probably quite artsy. I feel like Libra Moons and just Libra placements are usually kind of drawn to artsy things because they love aesthetics. They like things that are aesthetically pleasing, and they like to look at beauty and just, yeah, refinement, sophistication, grace, just the finer things in life. And so they really like that. I feel like this is a placement that is very enchanted about the idea of love rather than the actual experience and feelings of love. Because I find there's quite a few similarities a little bit between Libra placements and Pisces, but Libra kind of goes about it in a more like airy, less emotional way, where they kind of have their head in the clouds and they just love all the finer things in life, and they can kind of fall in love with like the idea of love and beauty versus what it's actually like. Now, Libra moons really do not respond well to negativity, abrasive people, rude people, or just people that are impolite in general, which is quite different from Sagittarius because they can tend to be those people. So a Libra moon is very diplomatic. They want to play both sides. They tend to... The negative tendency of a Libra moon, and I've talked about the negative tendencies of most placements, because they all have, every placement has their strengths and weaknesses, and the negative tendency of a Libra moon, if they are not evolved, is to be quite spineless, because they always play both sides of things. They're sometimes could be overly diplomatic in that it seems like their opinion changes to who they're around, because the reason is because, and again there's a little similarity with Pisces here, is that they absolutely abhor conflict and they cannot stand conflict. And one of the ways they avoid that is by being overly diplomatic and playing both sides and not really standing for anything of substance like for themselves. So they won't really kind of have their own strong opinions, and that's quite different from Sagittarius. They tend to be quite opinionated and quite blunt, and so I feel like that side of Sagittarius will definitely be toned down, and they may kind of struggle to find a balance between like that fiery side of them versus their moon that can't handle conflict and can't really handle like taking a stance. So what I think it will be like is they'll kind of have one initially, and then if they're kind of pressured on it, or if there's any kind of conflict seen from it, they'll kind of wear down quite quickly. Now, this pairing really increases your flair and your ability to attract and charm people. Like I mentioned before, your Libra moon will kind of tone down that blunt edge and that tendency to offend people that Sagittarians are known for. So you're really a lot more of a people person. And then your Libra moon is really good at coming up with ideas. They like creativity, so you're probably coming up with these nice creative ideas. And then your Sagittarian sun has the courage and the fiery energy to spearhead them. Now, notice I said spearhead, not follow through, because I feel like this pairing will have a hard time doing that. Because what I think happens is your Libra moon has these cool creative ideas, and Sagittarius is also good at coming up with ideas as well, but meaningful ones and deeper philosophical ones. So your Libra moon will come up with these creative ideas in the pursuit of beauty and aesthetic, and then the Sagittarian will assign this deeper philosophical meaning to it, and then have the courage and the fiery gall to spearhead it and start pursuing it. But Sagittarius is known for being really impatient, and Libra abhors conflict. And so I think what you're inevitably on these endeavors, when you're inevitably met with some sort of conflict or pushback or any challenges or roadblocks, I really think it's not going to go well, and the desire to persevere will kind of fizzle out, because the Libra moon doesn't have really the spine to stick up for themselves, and then the Sagittarian doesn't even really take over there because they're so impatient anyways, and so both would probably be just happier. They're like, oh, let's start a new project. So I think this pair really accentuates Sagittarius tendency to just bounce from like person to person and place to place and project to project, because instead of persevering with something that's already, now that you're met with conflict and it's kind of getting old anyways, let's just go to a new project. Because by then you have probably been able to assign a new meaning to it, and the new and excitingness attached to this new beautiful creative endeavor is more exciting than pushing through this conflict. And I feel like that tendency to do that could potentially bleed into relationships, romantic or friendship or otherwise, just that would rather start something new than push through conflict and be patient. So this isn't a moon that will help balance out Sagittarius much, but I think they'd have a lot of fun. So that is all I have planned for today's video. I hope you like this pair. Stay tuned for more. We have Sagittarius Sun and Scorpio Moon coming up, but that's going to be an interesting pairing. And then I'm also going to be talking this week/weekend about the upcoming transits and how to make the most of them. Like always, link in the description to my private Facebook group if you want to learn more, find out about the free astrology training that I'm going to be making, give your own you can give some input while I'm making it to make it as appealing to you and others as possible. And you can give me more ideas on what content you would like me to make. If you like this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing. Leave a comment. I will always read and reply to all the comments on my channel. Stay tuned for more, and I'll be back later this week with more videos.